Now, I love cats, especially my adorable cat Rosie. You love cats, unless you're dead to me. So what if the funny meme cats we always see online got a game series? Whoa! Well, despite what my colleagues think, I still hold the belief a game series based on the silly cats we see online would be fantastic and exactly what the economy needs right now, even if it doesn't quite know it yet. What the hell is this? Only one way to find out, right? Whoa. Hey! I got my desk back. That's convenient. Who are you? And why am I here? Yeah, that's great, George, but I have places to do and things to be, so I'm gonna head out of here. Mind pointing me to an exit? How about those big doors? Where do they lead? Don't you dare touch Rosie, George G, but the lady fishies call you Gorg. Okay, you win. Please, don't hurt Rosie. What can I do to get out of here without that? Review out of 5 meows. Okay, got it, boss. Alright, I'm on it, Gorg. Alright, well, if I ever want to escape this place and see my beloved feline once again, I'll have to go through all 6 cat games, as George, also known as Gorg, called them. I know I said the economy needed some silly meme-based cat games, but economies are always changing. One minute you invest in Bitcoin, the next you're in a business meeting with the executives of Bitcoin in your own bedroom, trying to pitch a video game to them because you misinterpreted an eviction notice. Don't ask how it got to that point. Moving on, I think it could be a good idea to go over the development history of these cat games before we hop into the first game, Temple of Wawa. The question on my mind right now is, how did the Temple of Wawa come to be? Well, it all comes from a man known as Shark the Pog. Only a man with a username like that could make a game franchise like this. Let me set the scene. It's summer 2021, and a little old shark is browsing Discord. That is mistake 1. The second mistake is looking at the emojis on a Discord server and seeing an emoji called Wawa. The emoji was of an edited cat known as Kotaro, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, who had their ears edited off of their head. However, this emoji, this single image of a cat with their ears edited off, was the spark to the creation of the cat games. And so Shark, together with his friend Blueprint, was taken, said let there be cats, and so the Temple of Wawa was born. So let's take a look at this game and see if it's actually any good and rate it on a scale of 1 to 5 meows. Please, I don't want to do this, I'm being held against my will. The game starts with you being thrown into a stone hallway with pictures of Wawa all over the walls. And let me tell you, don't try to explain it to your therapist, it does not go well. Hallway talk, Wawa on the walls, Wawa on the walls. As you continue to make your way down the corridors, things get progressively harder. The first section is an extremely long walk, the second section is a long walk, the third section is a walk but you have to do it fast or else a very scary cat will kill you. Clearly, I know that too well. No, man, oh my god. For the fourth section and after, you need to avoid crushers, make jumps above the void until you finally reach the end, in which we will be collecting our first cat flame. We're also teased with a collection of every single cat game we're going to face eventually, with the one we're currently on highlighted. There also appears to be a door in which you need a code to unlock, with a little symbol on it being the thumbnail for the very next game. However, we did gloss over one cool little detail right at the start of the game. You're able to no-clip through a specific wall, and we get our very first example of cat games lore in the series. Albeit there isn't much lore in this series, so I'm not really going to go too in depth and discuss what happens in each game or what it could mean. I'll dive into the lore more once we reach the finale, but for now, what did I think of the Temple of Wawa? It's fun. It's plain and simple, but it's some good goddamn Wawa fun. I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy this game, even after multiple playthroughs, although I do think it's a bit plain, and that's okay. This was meant to be a small, stupid, play it once and never again type of game with Wawa everywhere. It can be a bit of a challenge at times, and in the end I believe it's a great start to this Roblox game series. Although, that being said, I'd only give it 2 meows out of 5 simply because it is very plain and doesn't offer anything for replay value apart from the code at the very end. As I said, it's a plain and simple game. It's not bad, but it's not amazing, but it sure is 2 meows out of 5. Now, with that out of the way, let's move on to the very next entry in the cat game series, which is Stare Cat's Sky Tower. But first, why was this game made? What was going through Shark's mind when he created a game like this? Well, he wanted to make multiple cat games after the first one, each focusing on different key gameplay mechanics, so this second one would be an obby game with fun mechanics built within the main obby through the Sky Islands. So, let's get into this game, shall we? We start off and immediately one thing is made apparent. This game is a huge step up from the last. Immediately once you load in, you're hit with some music from the Touhou project, which becomes a staple of the cat games from this point onwards, thanks to one of the developers, and the only man to binge all my videos in one sitting, Cyan. Once again, the main cat of the game is plastered everywhere, but this time staring at us from the sky. If you thought explaining Wawa Temple to your therapist was bad, try explaining this one. He's watching us! He's watching us! Watch the skies! Watch the sky! Going through this game, it's mostly a standard obby. It does the right thing of introducing a gimmick and then having it get harder as you go on, as all good game design should. The thing with this obby is the design is so original. It's something I haven't really experienced on Roblox in quite a while. The game is full of personality, much more than the first game could ever dream of. We also see our first instance of cat game staples such as bull character designs with silly little faces. This game has so many fun gimmicks and it genuinely feels like it was made from a good place, for fun, and for others to have fun with it too. It takes me back to a time when Roblox really was just about making and sharing silly, fun original games, and Stare Cat's Sky Tower is a modern take on one of those. I love it. We also have our first example of a boss battle in the cat game series. While it is just a hard bit of the obby, it tries to go for that boss battle type feel, which is awesome. Once you finally make it to the end, you can receive your second cat flame. From the get-go, you can see the scale of this entire game, and it's amazing, especially compared to the first. So the question is now, how many meows out of 5 would I give Stare Cat's Sky Tower? I'd give it 3.5 meows. It has fun gimmicks, looks amazing, and is fun to replay. Along with that, it's also a huge step up from the first game. However, this game did carve the path the future games would follow. The future of this little game series looking better than ever. Let's move on to the next, shall we? Once this game loads up, you're treated to a pre-game lobby. Wow, well that's new. Once you find yourself in the actual game, it's made apparent that this game will revolve around a maze being the main mechanic, in which you have to collect green orbs. Once the gates open and we enter the maze with the intent of finding the green orbs, however, a stone cat comes around the corner tracking us with red eyes. This is the new gimmick in Kiki's Hedge maze, and it's honestly not all too bad. Look, the maze is boring, it's repetitive, and I don't like it. The green orbs are extremely hard to find and stuff, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't like this game. The stone cat mechanic is cool, the jump scare is cool, the maze is bland. I have nothing to say. This game is getting a no meows out of 5. A shame, truly. This is the cat game so far I would never willingly replay. Every time I touch it and try to put effort into playing it, I always leave feeling demotivated, sluggish, and regretful that I put myself through it. But moving on to wash that sour taste out of my mouth. Snick, also known as Snickers, also known as the cat of a horrible YouTube short-making VTuber which will not be mentioned as their only good aspect is their cat. Marble Sanctuary is the fourth of the cat games, and what do I think of it? Well, I genuinely think the gimmick is extremely fun. You play as a marble and you have to make your way through a course. However, what makes this game so special is how it plays around with the fact you are a marble in many sections of the course. Challenges like these are exclusive to being a marble and having the physics of one, which is exactly what makes a formula for a good game in this series. Take a concept and present challenges exclusive to whatever medium the concept and gimmick take on. I would have liked it if the game had more split paths, however. There's only one in the entire game, and I really liked it. It gives you the option of either being slow and steady or fast and furious. There's also a lot of really cool set pieces, which I assumed would be reused in cooler, harder ways, but no, each section of the course has a different gimmick to overcome. Also, this game encourages you to replay it. With each replay, you can beat the game in an even faster time than the last. But this does lead on to my only real problem with the game. It's rather short on a second playthrough specifically, and is the same each time. To remedy this, the game could have had randomized chunks of level you make your way through, or implementing an in-game stopwatch could incentivize the player to replay to get an even higher time. The game could also have a leaderboard they save to at the end, so players could compete to get to the top. If the game had one of these features, it would be an easy 5 meows. However, it sadly does not have these features, and while it is extremely fun, and does offer some incentive to replay to perfect your run, it can't keep you coming back for too long. Snick's Marble Sanctuary is getting 4 meows from me. Now, this game is the first of its kind in this series. It's a 2-player obby in which you go through with another person and make your way to the end. Honestly, it's really fun. It's a super cool 2-player experience, and honestly one of the best 2-player obbies on Roblox. Another cool thing about it is that you can play it twice for a completely different experience. Both sides of the obby have you doing different things, and it's really fun, especially in a call with a friend. I can compliment this game for its fun concepts, just like any other cat game. However, then we have the 2-player platform section. I don't know how this made it into the final game, but this is the laggiest, messiest section in any Roblox obby I have ever played. It feels like going from Green Hill to Marble Zone in Sonic 1, except Marble Zone is like horrific and doesn't function correctly. No sane person keeps playing at this point, they just leave. I'm serious, I think I've made it this section like 6 times, I've only beat the game twice. This knocks the game down so much. You have to move the platform trying not to hit the red outline, but the platform jitters, slows down randomly, and suddenly can have huge jolts of speed, and it's boring. And if you suffer through all that, you're rewarded too, not the end of the game, but the first real boss fight in the cat game series. Now, this boss is cool, don't get me wrong, but it does not belong in this game. It has no right and makes no sense being here, but I don't care, it's fun. I can't really boost the game up in meows out of 5 for this boss because it doesn't utilize the main concept of the game, which is 2-player obby, and the boss is a single-player boss. Also, the rolling ball that's trying to crush you has a horrible hitbox, so if you get any distance near it, you die, because the hitbox is a square when the enemy is a circle. So the first large portion of the game is peak 2-player obby fun. The platform section makes me want to tear my skin off, and the boss is alright, but I wish it utilised the 2 players more, as it's the only time the series had a chance to. So, the Cat Sky Altar gets 3.5 meows out of 5 for me. Well, now, as they say in France, it's time to move on to the final game in the cat game series, which is Jinx Judgment. Sounds scary, but I don't want to be judged, I want to be analysed. Why is the ground shaking? This isn't a 2015 Minecraft Let's Play. Oh god. It's not even Christmas yet.